always wanted to swim the channel, but I thought it was just for athletes. So when I found out that anybody could swim it, I thought, I've brought the kids up, I've worked all my life. I'm gonna have a go at that. I'm not a great swimmer, but what I've got is stamina and that staying power. But if I go to Russia, it's usually around zero, and they have to cut a hole in the ice. As long as you go for it, it's better than sitting on the couch at home. I've always loved being in water. Even when I was a little girl, Mum used to sit me in a bucket of water to, quieten me. But no, I love going to the seaside. I love playing in my paddling pool. I'm not a great swimmer, but what I've got is stamina and that staying power. So, that's how I've done the channel.
Because the channel is what, I think you were expecting, I wrote it down this morning, I was amazed, 21 miles, you end up doing 65 miles.
Well, you don't actually swim 65 miles, you're taken with the current, but you actually cover 65 miles.
My gosh.
But, it seemed like 65 miles.
How long did it take you?
28 hours, 44 minutes.
Was there any break in there, or were you just swimming the whole time?
No, I mean, every hour or so you stop for a feed, but you're not allowed to touch the boat. You just stop for your feeds, really. Towards the end of it, I was having feeds every quarter of an hour.
I'm not surprised. And what was it like? What was going through your mind at certain points? Were you like, at certain points, you're like, is this ever going to end?
Well, to be quite honest, I mean, I have this mantra: never look forward, never look back. Don't ask questions. Just put your head down and keep your arms moving, and try not to think when you're swimming in the channel, because too many thoughts going through your head. Usually, sometimes the negative thoughts come in. So just think of why I'm swimming the channel, what I'm doing it for, and I didn't want to let people down. And I swam for a charity, the Huntington's disease. So that's what kept me going, really.
So it's incredible. I suppose you had that was a massive driver, apart from the fact that I suppose it was a goal, but also doing it for other people.
Oh yeah, well that's right. Yeah. And I had a little bet on with my dad. He said, "Oh, you'll never do it." "Oh yes, I will. You'll never do it." And he's all right. He said, "I'll bet you £1,000." I said, "All right then, Dad." And he said, "But I know my money's safe." So when I did have tough times, I did think about him patting his back pocket, and like, right, I'll show him.
What was your best moment when you were doing it?
Well, actually, to see land, and I felt the water go really warm, so I knew I was just coming in, and it just seemed like a dream come true, because every now and again I'd catch a glimpse of France, and then it would just disappear. So best not to look up. But when I felt the water go warm, I looked up, and there it was. There was France.
Oh, that must be an amazing moment.
Oh yeah, it was. I mean, it's a bit of a dream, really. You just don't realise the enormity of it, And I was sort of standing on the beach, and the first thing channel swimmers do is find a pebble to remind them of their swimming. I couldn't find any pebbles, girls. And then I saw something sticking up in the sand, and it was a big lump of concrete. I'll take that back then. And it got so heavy on the way back, I just let it go.
That's brilliant. Now, you mentioned you feel the water get warmer as you should swim closer to the shore, but
yes.
You're also a cold water swimmer, am I right?
I'm a cold water swimmer?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I mean, I started really cold water swimming after my channel swim, but it was good in as much as I was in there all that time, and I didn't get really cold. I was cold, but I didn't get hypothermic. So that was my next challenge. I thought, well, what can I do now? I've heard about this ice swimming, so I thought I'll have a bash at that.
So what does ice swimming involve? Like, what's the kind of distances, and what's the temperature like?
What, in ice swimming?
Yeah.
It's zero usually. If I go to Russia, it's usually around zero, and they have to cut a hole in the ice. And obviously then you get in and then you swim your lengths. I usually do 450 or 1,000 is my longest swim. So yeah, I mean, that was other goals for me. And of course I got to travel to Russia and other northern European countries. And it also gave me the opportunity to swim across the Bering Strait from Russia to America, because at the time there wasn't a lot of ice swimmers in England, and I was invited about 6 years ago. The first swim didn't come off because of political stuff, but next year we went ahead and we actually swam from Russia to America, which took 6 days. Weather, I don't know if you've ever seen The Deadliest Catch on the telly, but the weather was atrocious. 20-foot waves, blizzards, gales, and of course up there it's full of marine life. You've got the big walruses and orcas, killer whales. So yeah, I mean, it was absolutely tremendous.
And you guys were swimming in that?
Sorry?
You were swimming in that?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the water temperature was 2 degrees on the Russian side, and we was in the water for 15 minutes at a stretch, but we had 3 swimmers on a rib which went 2 kilometres out to sea because the big Russian boat couldn't go slow enough. So that's how the slack was taken up, and we'd be on the rib for an hour or so. It was absolutely freezing. We were frozen solid, all our clothes all wet through. And we had to be recovered, and that means when you go back to the ship and in any ice swimming where you swim a long distance, the Russian ladies know how to recover you, because what happens is the blood in your arms and your legs goes ice cold. When you start warming up, it can go through your core, through your heart, and it could be quite dangerous. So they wrap warm towels under your arms and in your groin to warm the blood up as it's coming through. So it's it can be quite a dangerous sport for the uninitiated. You've got to know what you're doing and acclimatise.
Definitely. And what motivates you to do it? I mean, it's an absolutely amazing thing to do, but what's your driver?
As I say, I always wanted to swim the channel, but I thought it was just for athletes, And when I found out that anybody could swim it, I thought, I'm 50 now. I've brought my kids up. I've worked all my life. I'm gonna have a go at that, And I started training when I was 50. And you have to train really hard. You have to be driven. You have to be determined. Yeah. And I swam the channel when I was 56. In between whiles, both my shoulders went, and I overtrained. I had to have operations on them, and then I had an operation on my tummy. Yeah. And eventually my coach phoned up and said, "How do you fancy going out in 2 days' time?" I thought, yeah, bring it on. So, yeah, I mean, it was just amazing, really. I didn't realise I was in the water that time, because it's best not to have a watch. It's best not to think about the time. But I knew I was in for a long time, because, the night and day and then night. And at one point, I could see some lights in Cali. Again, I shouldn't have looked, and I looked again 6 hours later, and I was in exactly the same spot. So I was just swimming backwards, really. Because I went out on a spring tide, which is the fastest tide that you can have, and I'm quite a slow swimmer. But I got there in the end.
And you mentioned with the training, so you looked, so your shoulders went, you had an operation on your stomach. How do you prepare your body for something like that?
How do you prepare your mind?
Yeah, your body and your mind.
As I say, they say that channel swimming is 80% mental and 20% physical. But as I say, I done an awful amount of training, 6-7 hours, Saturday on a Sunday. As I say, the training is very tough, and you actually see it. It's just another swim. It's best not to try and think, oh wow, I've got 21 miles to swim. You think from feed to feed. It's hard to explain. Just don't see it as that distance. Just go on from feed to feed, and then the time goes quite quickly, really.
I guess it's like having lots of little goals as you work towards the big one.
Yeah. As I say, you're beside a boat, and they keep an eye on you all the time, really. Yeah. So no, it was brilliant.
Wow. And what do you plan to do next? I'm assuming you're someone who never stays still.
Well, actually, I've been quite lazy this past 6 months, and sometimes family comes first.
Yeah.
I mean, with channel swimmers, you have to be quite selfish. Every weekend is training, and then you'll have the weddings and the birthdays, and you have to be quite selfish as much. Well, I can't. I'm sorry. I'm training.
Yeah.
So I've been all around the world and swum in some fantastic swims. And sometimes family comes first. So I'd like to go back to South Africa. I've got unfinished business there. We went last year, and I was hoping to swim round Cape Point. It's a very rough area of sea, and you're swimming round the tip of South Africa into I think it's the Indian Ocean. And as I say, I missed it last year because of the wind, so I'd like to go back and swim round it again. So
now,
I've got that in my sights.
What about sharks?
Sharks!
I've got all this stupid bit. I watched Jaws once, and it's killed my enjoyment of the sea forever.
Yeah, I mean, in the Indian Ocean there are a lot of sharks, but we don't worry about sharks. I mean, if you worried about them, you wouldn't get in the water. But I swam from Robben Island, where Nelson Mandela was incarcerated. That was a fantastic swim. You had Table Mountain on the right. With every breath that you took, you saw this fantastic view. And you just get carried away in the moment, really. You don't think about the danger. But no, that was a brilliant swim.
And anyone looking to do this, if anyone thinks, I've never done this before, am I ever going to be good enough? What would you say to them?
Sorry?
So if no one's ever done this before, someone says, okay, I'd really like to do this,
yes.
What would you say to them?
What would I say to them?
Yeah.
I get a lot of people saying, oh, I'd love to swim this, I'd love to swim that, but I'm too slow. And I say, do you know what? It doesn't really matter. As long as you go for it, it's better than sitting on the couch at home. Just sort of have a goal in mind and, work towards that goal. In any sort of sport, in anything that you want to do, go for it. I think everybody has a talent, and people know what they're good at. You just have to, build upon that talent. It doesn't matter if it's knitting or crocheting or, playing bowls, go for it. It enriches your life so much. You don't have to be a channel swimmer. Just do something that, really sort of keeps you alive and interested in life.
Oh, that's brilliant. And Jackie, do you read? Do you have any books you'd recommend? Like, where do you get your inspiration from?
Yeah, I mean, I'm reading some books at the moment. A very, very interesting book by Jessica Hepworth, and it's called 21 Miles, and it's a book. She swam the channel last year, and she wrote a book about 21 amazing women, and I'm in the book, so I'm reading that at the moment. It's basically a book that gives women encouragement as well, so that's very good. But I don't get a lot of time for reading because, if I'm not swimming, I'm gardening or, doing other things, having visitors over. So, I mean, perhaps I should read a little bit more. We have all the swimming magazines, and I read them, But,
Jackie, I don't think you could fit anything else in, to be honest with you. You do a lot.